Hey, how y'all doing? Cater to your inner child. When was the last time you done things that made you happy as a kid? Not to mention, not only inner child, but your inner teenager, your inner tweens, your inner every age, your inner 20s, your inner 30s, every age, every era. When I was in middle school, I was obsessed with scene culture. Like, I'll put some pictures if I can. Like, I was obsessed with it. Like, I loved it. Most of my friends, they were alternative. I had a diverse friend group, and I embraced it. And I remember I wanted a septum piercing so bad. So when I got to college, when I finally moved out for a second, I took the opportunity and I got my nose pierced. And I loved stretch septums. Like, I loved them so much. And I love my stretch septum. Like, that's part of me. And I love that. And I also wanted locks really badly. And I also wanted to stretch my ears. Like, all of these things. Like, if 12-year-old me were to see me now, she'll be jumping off the walls. Like, I didn't put it aside because, oh, people are not gonna like it. Who cares what people like? I have to look at myself in the mirror at the end of the day. I have to deal with myself at the end of the day. People are going to put their insecurities on you. Insecure people exist, and that's okay. I used to be insecure. It's okay. It's all part of the process. They're here to remind you if you're really serious on what you want. They're putting you up for the test. You say you're confident, right? Okay, go handle that insecure person. How are you going to handle it? You think you're really healed? Okay, bet. That's your next test. Somebody's going to try to disrupt your peace. It's all part of the process. So embrace it. You're doing just fine. When was the last time you watched your favorite childhood show? You did your favorite childhood hobby? Anything to cater to your inner child. The way I see adults and humans in general, I truly believe they're just kids that got older. Like, I feel like every time I look at an adult, I see the kid inside them. Like, I don't just look at what's in front of me. I see the child. Every time they laugh at like something childish, I see their inner child. Every time they get upset or angry, I see their inner child being sad. A lot of the emotions adults show, and as humans, as we show, most of the time they're deep-rooted emotions or insecurities or traumas or just overall things that we need to cater to in our inner child that we have not healed yet. So the more and more I exist, the more I realize all this anger that I'm getting, all these insecurities, all this fear, it's just little kids that are scared. Like, we're still kids. We're just not in that sense. I don't know how to explain it. Like, every time I just see an adult, I see how they were as a kid. Like, I truly feel like adults are just kids that got older. Adults that kids that got taller. Like, I'm not trying to what's it called? I'm not trying to invalidate how adults are or anything like that. Like, I feel like for example, when I was a child, I wasn't allowed to celebrate Halloween. Now as an adult, I try to celebrate it as much as I can because it makes me happy. Like, I'm healing something within my inner child. I wanted to celebrate Halloween as a kid, but I couldn't. But now as an adult, I have the opportunity, and I try to. Like, I watch Halloween movies. Like, I got ghost face socks. Like, little things like that. It makes me happy. Whenever I'm sad, I watch cartoons. Like, I watch SpongeBob, Chowder, Flapjack. I watch all of those shows because those were my favorite shows growing up. Like, When I was a kid, I was so confused as to why adults didn't have fun houses. Like, I'm like, you still like them. It's not like when you go in age, they have some things you might like be like not interested in anymore. The word maturity has nothing to do with what you like. It has nothing to do with your hobbies. It's all about your mental process and how you handle things. That's how I see maturity, not how you dress or what you like or your hobbies. Got nothing to do with that. Like, I was always like taken aback, like adults don't listen to their favorite childhood songs anymore. Like, they don't make their houses fun. Like, they just forgot about them as a child completely. And like, our childhood was only a tiny portion of our lives, but the rest of our lives were adults. Why is that? Like, just because you're not 12 doesn't mean you still can't like what your 12-year-old self liked. The foods that you love to eat, why would you stop eating them? Unless you can't, like, there's a difference. But if you can, why not? Who cares what other people think? Other people that believe catering to your inner child and not doing the things that your inner child love to do, those people that think that's childish and immature are those people that do not cater to their childhood selves, do not cater to their inner child. They probably look at old memories of how they were as a kid and critique themselves and be like, oh, I was so ugly, or oh, I was so annoying. Well, you're making fun of yourself. So of course they're gonna look at you crazy because they look at themselves crazy. If you criticize your younger self, you're criticizing yourself. That's literally you. Like, life feels more peaceful the moment I do things that my inner child loves to do. I feel complete. I feel heard. Because she is me and I am her. All the things that triggered me as a kid, all the things that bothered me, I'm healing them. Like, I'm healing them. As a child, whenever people used to pick on my forehead, I used to hate it. I would wear headbands to like cover my forehead. I'll wear hoodies. I'll do everything to cover my forehead. Now, I embrace my forehead. I had a big forehead my entire life. And that's me. So I'm healing that part of myself, not only for my inner child, but for my adult self too. Because that was an insecurity that started when I was a child. Instead of me changing my forehead, instead of me altering how I see my hair, I just embrace it little by little. I start taking pictures with my forehead out. I started going outside more without a headband, just little by little. It took years to actually be confident on my forehead. Like, I see beauty within it. I look at old pictures of like people like my grandparents or my aunts, my uncles, people within my lineage that also have big foreheads. This is bigger than me. No pun intended, but literally, like, it's part of me. It's part of me. Why not embrace it? Instead of changing it, I wanted to embrace what God gave me. God did not mistake her creation. I'm this way for a reason and I should embrace it. And if I don't like it, I should take the time to like it. I should just take time to like it instead of changing it. Because changing an insecurity, like the way you look, like I think there's like operations you could do to like make your forehead smaller or like push your hairline back here. There is that. But that wouldn't fix the deep-rooted insecurity that I have within myself. Just because I changed the way I look, that does not change the deep-rooted, like, insecurity. That's like putting a band-aid on a stab wound. It doesn't fix anything. It just covers it up. You gotta go within. Everything is within. The power within. The power within.
The power within. The power within. The power within. The power within. The power within. The power within. The power within. The power within. The power within. The power within. The power
Everything is within. So yeah, just cater to your inner child. Cater to your younger self. Talk to her, talk to him, talk to them. Because they're there. Every time like somebody yells at you, if you used to be one of those kids that start crying because somebody yelled at them, yeah, I think I was one of them. Sometimes. Yeah, I was one of them sometimes. To this day, if somebody yells at me, I feel sad, but I'm not crying. And for the longest, I'm like, wait, why do I feel sad? Like, there's nothing to be sad about. It's my inner child crying. That's why. So now, I'm working to heal that. Healing is not linear. It's not like, oh, I'm done with that. Check. No, healing is going back. Having past triggers trigger you again, crying all of a sudden, remembering like triggering and traumatic experiences that you thought you never experienced and they come out of the blue. Healing is not easy. This is the hardest thing I ever done in my entire life. It's not easy. But you know what else is not easy? Suffering and living your life without healing at all. Sometimes I sit down and I wonder, why did I have to experience these horrible people? And then I sit back and I'm like, it's just God showing me this is what happens when you don't heal. I truly feel like some people were placed on this earth to be an example of what it's like if you don't heal, if you don't do shadow work, if you don't evolve, if you don't want to do better. God shows that, the universe shows that as an example. So cater to your younger self. Cater to your inner child, because it's there. It's there if you believe it or not. It's helpful. It's needed. You are the light in the tunnel. So shine bright. Like, embrace your inner child. Do what makes you happy. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'm gonna wrap up this video. Thanks for having time with Tati. Stay beautiful, stay peaceful, and stay resilient. Reflection. I'm out.